afternoon. Glad you could all join us today. So let's get started talking about customizing your iPhone control panel on GoFor Lunch for October 21st, 2025. Brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we're here to make your technology work for you. Well, it's National Apple Day. Not the computer, the fruit. So you know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So make sure and eat your apple today and stay healthy. Well, the iPhone control panel can be customized to make it work the way that you want it to. So it comes with default functions, but you can change that, and that's what we're going to learn about today. So the Control Center's purpose is to give you quick access to things like brightness, volume, flashlight, and Wi-Fi and other connectivity purposes. So how do you activate the Control Center? Well, if you have an iPhone with Face ID, you go up to the upper right-hand corner and just swipe down. If you have a phone that has a home button or Touch ID, then you swipe up from the bottom. So many of the controls have additional options, and you access those by pressing and holding or doing a long press. And then you'll see other options that are available for that particular function. And you can also edit it, and to access the edit mode, you go to the upper left-hand corner and press the little plus sign, and then you can add controls with the Add Control button that appears at the bottom. You can also remove controls, because when you get into this edit mode, a little minus sign appears at each control. So you just touch that and it will go away. You can also change the size of the control with the little handle in the lower right by expanding it out or pushing it in, depending on where it is. And you can also drag controls around to put them in a different order. So let's see how all that works. So we're going to get into our iPhone, get our Face ID working here. So as usual, the phone here on your left is a direct connection from the computer, and on the right is actually a picture of the phone, so you can see what I'm doing. We'll get that straightened out a little bit and get our stylus. So to access the Control Center, we go up here to the upper right hand corner and we swipe down, and there it is. So this is more or less the default. I've got a couple of different things here. We'll talk about that. So here we have the connectivity. It's your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, etc. Here we have your playback, whatever you're playing, be it music or a podcast. Down here this is the brightness control here, so you can adjust your brightness up and down. And then this is what happens when you hold down the brightness control. You get additional functions here. You can turn on True Tone, put on Night Shift, or you can go into dark mode. And this is normally your volume control right here. This is your focus, so you can be uninterrupted when you're doing certain things. This is your screen lock, so you can keep your screen in a certain rotation. That's on when it's white, off when it's black. This is how you share your screen with your Apple TV or with other computers. And this is my home app, which is set up here for the Ecobee thermostat. So it's telling me that my present temperature is 79. Also in the home app, I can control my home pods, which are in my living room. This is for a voice memo, so you can instantly make yourself a voice note. Of course, the good old flashlight. And again, if you hold down the flashlight, then you can adjust the, let's get that up here again. You can adjust the beam, so you can get a wider beam or a narrow beam. So that's the touch and hold feature. We have the calculator, we have hearing aids, the timer, screen recording lets you record whatever is on your screen, of course the camera. This is the magnifier, which is very handy to read things. This is the scan code, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And this is the Apple TV remote. So it's very handy because if you have a Apple TV and you need to put in a password, then the remote will give you a keyboard on your iPhone, which you don't have, of course, on your regular remote. So that is very nice. So we're going to scroll down from the upper right hand corner to get back in there. So let's talk about the scan code. So as you may know, you can use your camera to scan a QR code. So you just see the QR code, you point your camera at it, and then a little yellow URL will appear there, and you have to touch it to bring it up. And that can be a little tricky. With the scan code, the way that works is you touch it here, and we just happen to have a URL or a QR code. I have to get away from it. And there we go. So it's a one-stop shop. It simply scans the QR code and it goes right to the website. So you don't have to get involved with that little yellow URL. Seems to be having a little problem here with this website. So I don't know what's happening there, but I think you get the idea. So the scan code is an app that is included in your operating system. So just do a search for it and it'll come up, and then you can add it to your control center. Okay, so that's the basics. You know, that's kind of the default, but wait, there's more. So you can again hit the plus sign, hard to see up there in the upper left hand corner, and then you get the minus sign at the upper left hand corner of each of the controls, and then you get a handle here on the lower right hand corner of each of the controls. So I could take the handle and make this smaller, but to me that little circle doesn't mean much to me, so I made it larger. So that's how you change it, change position, but you can just grab it out there, and so I can read the screen recording title there, so I know what that is. So down here at the bottom we have add a control, and that opens up lots of possibilities. So on this first page we have pretty much all the default controls that you might want to use. And then we start getting into more specific things like apps that have their own controls. Like here's Amazon Alexa. Ambient music, which is built into the operating system, gives you sleep and chill and productivity and well-being. Apple Intelligence lets you talk to Siri, type to Siri, and then use your virtual intelligence. That's when you point your camera at a sign or something, or an animal or a plant, and it will tell you what it is. Blackmagic Camera has their own call sheet, which is an app similar to IMDb, has 3 different functions. Then they have this category called Capture, which is where your camera is, but you also have the Blackmagic Camera, the scan code we demonstrated, Halide, another camera app, and then you have Snapchat, the magnifier, which of course is the handy, Snap It, and Instagram. Then another artificial intelligence app, ChatGPT, lets you open it, lets you talk to it, and this is for coding. Your clock can give you the alarm, a timer, or a stopwatch. And then we have our connectivity, which has all these different functions, Wi-Fi, AirDrop, airplane mode, and also you can turn on and off your VPN and your Wi-Fi. So in display and brightness, you see you have here your font size. So you can increase the font size. So I added this. When you tap on it, it adds it. Sorry, I already had that there. So I'm going to go back here to add a control. So here are the ones we've talked about already. An app called Drafts has a drafts. A good old DuckDuckGo has 8 different things you can do, including a voice search. Evernote, which I use for my notes, has 6 different functions. ExpressVPN, you can turn it on from here. You can put in your focus, which is part of the default. I have an app for my car, which allows me to unlock it or lock it or start it. Gemini, another AI app, gives you several functions. Google Search, Google Translate, Grok, another AI app, Halide, a camera app, and this is your home where you can control your home automation devices. Instagram, Lose It, Measure, lets you measure things or have a level, and then your notes, you can have a regular note or a quick note. Here's your whatever is playing, be it music or a podcast. Perplexity, yet another AI app, lets you ask anything, ask with a photo, or start a voice ask. Procam, the remote we talked about. Shortcuts, you can get to your shortcuts from right here. Slack, Snapchat, SnoreLab, your sounds, and a timer. This is a separate timer app. The Translate app, you can turn that on. My banking app has several functions. Then we have some utilities here, which are mostly in the default. The voice memo, which I demonstrated. You can do your wallet. You can also find your watch. If you have an Apple Watch and you don't know where it is, you tap that and it will beep. Waterminder lets you add a drink or a cup. Wordboard is like a little text expander app. And then we have a lot of things under accessibility here. So you can see stereo balance for your headphones, Um, we have motor accessibility. Vision accessibility has a lot of different things. So one little note, if you have accidentally upgraded to iOS 26, which features liquid glass, if you don't like the liquid glass look, what you want to do is go into accessibility and reduce transparency. So that will make liquid glass kind of go away. So, and that is all of the choices you have in the control center to make it your own, customize it the way you want it. And when you get up here, so we're going to tap up here to get rid of it. So it also has some other little features here. Along here on the right hand side, it's kind of hard to see. You have a little heart. That's for your favorites. So that goes to the first page. Then you have a little circle. That goes to the second page. Then you have a musical staff. That goes to your playback controls. Then you have a home, which gets you to your home controls. And then you have a little antenna that gets you to your connectivity controls, and a circle which gets you to your third page if you had one. So you can see all these are here. Also, when you go into control panel, you can just scroll down like this and it will go into your different modes like that. So lots of ways that you can access it. So let's go down back into control panel. So that brings us to questions or comments. So if you have not already done it, please put your questions or your comments in the space provided. And do me a favor and please forward the Gopher Gazette to people you know that use Apple devices. And subscribe if you haven't already. Just hit that subscribe button down below and ring the little bell, and you will be notified when we go live. And Zoom Workplace is now up to version 6.6.2. And I have a cheat sheet available for this program. So if you want some notes on what we talked about, give me an email and I will be happy to send that to you. Tonight, the Tucson Macintosh Users Group is meeting at 6 o'clock with an Ask Me Anything session, followed at 7 by the general meeting featuring the Geek Gift Guide, as well as some new products from Apple and our software and security updates and the accessibility minute. And that Zoom link is in your Gopher Gazette. Just click on that and that'll get you right into the meeting. So there we go. Tucson Macintosh Users Group tonight, 6 p.m. for Ask Me Anything, 7 p.m. for general meeting, and the Zoom link is in the Gopher Gazette. So got to hit the right buttons. Okay, let's see what we got here. Gretchen, welcome. You're losing the first two characters on each of the displays. Okay, I'll have to look at that. Thank you, Bob. And we have a question here from Leslie. Do people find this efficient instead of just going to the site or the settings? Yes, I think they do. It's just a little quicker to go to things that you use frequently in the control panel than going into settings and having to search for them. So, okay, so Gretchen asks, where did you get the AI controls? I don't have them on my phone. So the AI controls appear when you install that particular AI app. So if you installed ChatGPT, you get the ChatGPT controls. If you installed Perplexity or Gemini, you get those controls. But you have to install the app to get the controls. So I think that answers AJ's question. Yeah, on an iPhone 15, it should also work. And Leslie says, I went to accessibility in settings and I didn't find the transparency thing. Okay, well, let's see if we can find out where that is. So we're going to go back to our iPhone here and go into settings, and we're going to kind of cheat here and put in transparency and see if that works. No, that didn't work. Okay. So we're going to go into accessibility, and we're going to go into visual, I believe. Okay, I missed visual. Where's visual? There we go. And let's see. Let's try motion. Okay, flashing lights. Okay, so it's not in there. I see why you're having a problem. So let's go down to general. No, that's not it. Here we go. Let's try this one. Okay, I can see why you're having a problem. They have hidden it. Okay, I guess I will find that and I will let you know. So okay, I will send the cheat sheet to you. And is this for all phones from 11 onwards? This is for all phones that are running iOS 18. So if your phone can run iOS 18, it is for that phone. Oh, you asked about that before, about what are the crowns next to some of our names. And I'm sorry, I didn't research that. Okay, you found it. So transparency is under display and text size. Okay, it's not under accessibility. So good. Thank you for that. That's a good find. So there's been a lot of talk about liquid glass, and for some people it's not a great feature. So that is how you can turn it off. So great session. Glad you could all join us today. Next week I'll be on vacation, so there will not be a GoFor Lunch. There will be a GoFor Gazette. So look out for that. But you got next Monday or Tuesday at lunchtime off. So go do something fun, like I will be doing. So if you have any questions you think of later, you can email me or you can call me, and that information is coming up right now. So thanks again, and we will see you in 2 weeks.